Hi, are you spiritually gifted and yet you're still suffering? This teaching is for you. We will have to look into the reasons why a lot of us who are spiritually gifted are passing through hell. They are actually suffering and no one to help them. So if you are in this group, you know you're spiritually gifted and your gift is from God, but nothing comes easy for you. You will have to toil day and night. You will have to work hard. You will have to sweat. Sometimes you cry before you can get whatever you want to get. I want you to pay attention. Most of the time, some of us get frustrated, believing that our gifts are not from God, believing that what we are doing is child's play, believing that we are on the wrong field. No, you are not on the wrong field. And whatever you are doing is not a child's play. Remember, God gives the toughest battle to the chosen ones. And I want to tell us the chosen ones are not those who are going to make heaven on the last day. If you are gifted spiritually, there's a reason why God gave you that gift. It's for you to serve Him, it's for you to use it to serve humanity, to help your fellow human beings. That is the reason why God gave you this gift. But if you are not using this gift the right way, if you are not doing what is pleasing unto God, if you are not helping your fellow human, and then on the last day, you're not going to make heaven. Despite your spiritual gift, you're not going to make heaven. So the chosen ones are not the ones that will make heaven on the last day. God giving the toughest battle to the chosen ones means the people whom He has chosen for extra job, the people that will go extra mile in winning souls for Him. They are the chosen ones, not really the ones that will make heaven on the last day. So if you are gifted spiritually, God has chosen you for you to work for Him extraordinarily. The things that an ordinary human being cannot do, He has actually gifted you that you can do those things. And along the line, you'll be finding life so difficult. So many of us, their lives are so miserable. A lot of us have decided to hide these spiritual gifts just because of what we're passing through in life. To us, we believe that these gifts are no longer from God. It must have come from the devil. That is why they're passing through difficulties. No. The reason why you are passing through difficulties is because you are chosen by God. That is the reason why. If you are gifted spiritually, He has already marked you. He has given you that spiritual mark. And this mark can only be seen by the chosen ones and by the devil and his agents. An ordinary person cannot see this mark, but the demons, the agents of darkness, can see this mark on you. The child of God, the people of God, can equally see that mark on you. So when the enemy, the devil and his agents, sees that mark on you, it shows that you are a target. You are a target in their kingdom because they know your mission. They know the reason why God has sent you. And so they will be ever ready to destroy that mission. And by so doing, they're going to make life miserable and frustrated for you. They're going to block all avenues for you to enjoy this life, for you to enjoy everything that any other human being can enjoy. And that is why you will see people who are spiritually gifted. Where others go and succeed, you will find it difficult succeeding, despite your spiritual gift. If you are the type that is looking for a job, you will see an ordinary person apply for a job and get hired. But you that is spiritually gifted, you can apply for a job up to 100 times without being hired. No one will hire you. And you think it's because you're not doing well during your interviews? No, it is not because of that. The reason is because of the mark on you. The enemy follows you wherever you go. They follow you, they mark your time, they mark your footsteps, they meet up with you wherever you are. to make sure that your life is frustrated. And that is why you are finding it difficult to achieve what others have achieved in life. Your mates, your age mates, your schoolmates are way higher than you. Not because they are more brilliant, no, you can even be more brilliant than them, but it will be so difficult for you to get to where they are. That is the reason. And that is why you will see some of these spiritually gifted people. I'm going to use women to give example. If you see a married woman who is gifted spiritually, majority of them, their marriages do not last. I don't know if you have ever noticed this. Their marriages do not last. And people will keep on wondering, despite how this woman prays, despite her holistic behavior, despite being a good woman, why can't she keep her home? Why did she allow her home to break up? Why can't she do this? Why can't she do that? And people will keep on talking, assuming a lot of things. It is not in the woman's making. The forces fighting the woman are great. And the problem is some of these women, before they realize that they have the spiritual gift, it is already too late. Their marriages have been broken. They are divorced. They are now living apart. And such marriages is so difficult to bring them back. Once that marriage crashes, it is so difficult to bring that woman and the husband back. But if these women realize on time that they are spiritually gifted while still with their husbands, they will know where the problem is coming from and they will know how to tackle it. They can stay in that marriage for as long as possible, but it's not going to be rosy for them. It's going to be a topsy-turvy. They'll keep on having ups and downs. And these ups and downs will keep on coming just to see if there is a way to separate the two of them. Because the devil don't really like anything that God does. If God says 1 plus 1 is 1, the devil will tell you that 1 plus 1 is 4 and will make sure that it divides that 1 plus 1 to give you that 4 as answer. So anything that God does, the devil wants to do the opposite of that. And so when these married women do not realize that they have spiritual gifts, they'll keep on having problems in their homes with their spouses. And before you know it, they will divorce or they will separate and never come back. And when such things happen, I'm going to tell us this. When such things happen, because of these spiritual gifts that God gives to people, He always assigns special angels, that's what I will call them, to guide those chosen ones, to help you out in whatever you're passing through in life. And these angels are very fierce. These angels are not the type that will take permission from you before they can do anything for you. Now, when these women separate from their spouses, and then they decide to go in and see what they can do for themselves, you see them progressing in life. You see them moving forward. Do you know why? Because they are actually making use of those spiritual powers in them at that moment. They may not realize that they are spiritually gifted, but because they are no longer with the man, because that is actually what the devil wants. The devil doesn't want them to stay with the man. But once that marriage crashes, you will see these women progressing. You will see them moving higher in life. Whatever they do, they will prosper. And most of the times, their spouses, you see them suffering. You see their spouses going down. You see their spouses like regretting the separation or the divorce. The reason is because their spouses were actually relying on the stars of the woman. They were actually moving forward in life with the blessings that comes with that woman. But because they have separated, the woman is now making use of those gifts all alone. all for herself. And the man is kind of like going down. And you see a lot of people accusing the woman of being the bad luck to the man. She is not actually a bad luck. It is just that she didn't realize who she is before the marriage crashes. She didn't realize that she's chosen specially. She didn't realize that. There is a way, if you have ever noticed in life, there is a way that God pairs people. When God brings someone who is cold, he brings another person who is hot, and matches them together. When someone brings someone with a bright future, he brings another person whose future is so dim and matches both of them together. Now, if your future is bright and you are the chosen one, and because of the mark in you, the devil will start fighting you, will not want that marriage to hold. And if you didn't realize this on time, your marriage will break. And the devil has achieved his aim. But it's just that your spouse will be the one suffering. This same thing is equally applicable to men. There are a lot of men who are gifted spiritually. They can perform very well in whatever they're doing as long as they are single, as long as they don't mingle with women. No matter what they go into, if whether they realize their spiritual gift or not, if they want to go into trade, into business, into a government job, if they want to go into ministry, you see them growing. You see them expanding. They can go far in life. But the moment a woman comes into their lives, you see these men going down drastically. You see them crashing. And people always blame the women in their lives as the cause and the reason for them to crash. The women are actually not the problem. The problem is because they are chosen and because God wants them to be with a woman that will help them, and they're not realizing the gifts they have, or maybe they have realized, and they're not knowing that they are marked already and you are a target in the devil's kingdom, that the devil will rise up to fight you. If you realize on time that you're spiritually gifted, and then all these things starts, all you need to do is to make use of those your spiritual gifts, your spiritual powers to fight that battle. It's not going to be easy. But in the end, you're going to win. It's not going to be rosy at all because your life's going to be ups and downs. You're going to face ups and downs every now and then. But because you're not making use of your spiritual gift to fight the battle, in the end, you're going to win. But if you do not realize that you're spiritually gifted, and then you get married and you start having problems with your spouse, and to you it is your spouse that is causing all those problems, and before you know it you divorce. That is actually what the devil wants. The devil doesn't want you to get married because that is how God has designed it for you, that you will get married. The devil does the opposite, so he's going to fight you. The reason why God placed that woman beside you is so that that which you cannot see, God will show it to the woman, and the woman will let you know. And all these things are for you to grow in life, both spiritually and physically. But the devil doesn't want it, and so the devil is going to keep on fighting you until your marriage crashes. And a lot of young boys and young girls equally experience this. You, as a young girl, despite how beautiful you are, how brainy you are, how brilliant you are, yet nothing to show for it. No guy comes your way. You don't have friends. You don't have suitors. Nothing. You're not doing anything. No matter how you try to make ends meet, to get something, you're still not doing anything. Your life will become so miserable. You will regret ever being a young girl. The reason is because you are gifted spiritually. You are gifted, and it will be better for you to ask questions about yourself. When things are going the wrong way in people's lives, learn to ask questions. Don't just assume that everything is normal. Don't just keep on waiting for things to fall back into place for you. Most of the times, you're going to make those things to fall back into place for you. Everybody always say, we pray that the lines will fall in place for you. Most of the times, your effort will make those lines fall in place for you. Most of the times, if you don't make any effort, no line will fall in place. Because when you start making efforts, that is when your spirit will communicate with nature. And every other thing will keep on aligning to make sure that you get to where you're supposed to be. So as a young girl who is of marriageable age, no suitors, no friends, nothing, you're not doing anything, you're actually suffering, still staying with your parents, still depending on people, even for transport fare. Your life being so miserable, you go out with your friends and nobody looks at you. But your friends will all be taken and they'll all get married except you, even if they don't want to get married, but you see them being placed well in life except you. Every year still the same story. Every year you are telling the same story. You need to ask questions. Because when you ask questions, because you do not know who you are, that is when those who know more than you will tell you what the problem is. And the moment you realize who you are and start making use of what you have spiritually, you will conquer. You will fight that battle and you're going to win. And the same thing with guys. You see a guy, despite how handsome that guy is, how beautiful body-wise he is, you don't have female friends. No girl wants to come near you. You can't even approach a girl to talk to the girl. And even if you do, the girl will still reject you. And it's in you, to become successful in life. And most of the times, these things happens to those who are first sons or an only son. The world is looking up to you to continue with the legacy of your family. They're looking up to you to move higher than your parents. But because you are a chosen one, because you are gifted, the devil now decides to fight you. And sometimes they yield in to that fight because they do not know who they are. Or some of them know who they are, but because they are not so sure what they have, they are not so sure who they are. When the devil fights you, the devil wins the battle. So that is why a lot of people who are spiritually gifted are passing through hell more than any other person. Somebody who is gifted spiritually, but to drink water will be so difficult for you. For whatever you need in life, you must ask from somebody. And if that person doesn't have, then you are in for trouble. You can't get anything for yourself. You rely on people completely for everything. Ask questions. If your life has been going this way, ask questions so that you will know who you are. Because the moment you get to know who you are, you will know where the battle is coming from. And then you will face that battle with everything you have. And you're going to win. So I want us all to open up our eyes, our spiritual eyes, and our minds to know exactly what is happening to us, what is happening around us. Open up your eyes. After listening to this, if you know that you have been passing through any of these things that I just mentioned, please ask questions about who you are so that you know how to solve your problems, because the solution lies in your hands, not actually in another person's hands. More especially if you're gifted spiritually. The solution to solve your problems lies in your hands. Even if you're going to contact other people, the solution is still in your hand because you'll be the one to contact others to help you fight that battle. I'm going to see us next time. Have a wonderful day and God bless you all.